Hi everyone. Today I have come with 5 books. Okay. So I thought I would suggest some books for you to ease into a reading season. I was thinking that I'll tell you that these are books you should start your reading journey with this year. And then I realized that almost 1.5 months have passed in this year. But still, there are 10 months left. Okay. So these 5 books can be used as a kind of stepping stone to launch yourself into your reading journey this year. And the thing is that all of them are from different genres, but 4 of them have crimes in them, and one of them has got a title which will make you think that there is a crime happening. So let me start with Knife by Salman Rushdie. It is non-fiction, and this book is an account, or it's kind of like a memoir. It's an account of the attack that happened on Salman Rushdie in 2022, and he was grievously injured. So this book is tells you of his experiences during the attack and what he felt and how he came out of it, how he survived, with the help of his family, his close friends, his writing, and how he had doubts about his writing, of whether he could write again. And so all these things are put forth in typical Salman Rushdie style in this book called Knife. So the irony is that he was about to talk on that stage about the harm, about protecting writers from harm. And that is when this guy with a knife jumped onto stage and stabbed him. And he lost an eye in this incident. So, Knife is a non-fiction account of Rushdie's experiences in the aftermath of this attack. And now we go on to a book which is far removed from this. It's fiction. It's called The Kamogawa Food Detectives. It's written by Hisashi Kashiwa in Japanese, and it is translated into English by Jesse Kirkwood. So, the Kamogawa Food Detectives, I've been hearing so much about it. And it is actually like interconnected short stories. The main protagonists are a father daughter duo. The father is a widower, and he runs a restaurant. So they advertise themselves as food detectives. If there is a forgotten taste in your mouth, if there is a dish that you remember from your childhood that you had somewhere and you want to reproduce it, you want to go back to those memories, you talk to them and they will talk to you, and they will somehow, through different means, they will recreate that dish for you. So, two beautiful things come together here. One is food and one is nostalgia. I mean, that's a surefire winner. So, the Kamogawa Food Detectives by Hisashi Kashiwa is a very, very cozy, comfortable, comforting read. There are people who come there saying that, I remember this noodles that was cooked by my wife and I want that same taste again. So while the father talks to that person, or the daughter talks to that person to find out what the ingredients were and what the memories were, and out comes all these old nostalgic memories. So it's a beautiful, beautiful read. And so there is no crime in this. It's just that the detective part makes you think that there's going to be a crime. So the Kamogawa Food Detectives by Hisashi Kashiwa is the second book in my list today. And now we come to The Quiche of Death, written by MC Beaton. So The Quiche of Death features one of my all-time favorite detectives. Her name is Agatha Raisin. And The Quiche of Death is the first in a series. There are around 30, 33 of the books. I have read all of them, and I have read them more for Agatha Raisin than for the mysteries. The Quiche of Death is a very good mystery. So Agatha Raisin is a fantastic character. Agatha is around 54. She's in her early 50s, and she runs a PR firm in London. And she decides that she's going to retire, and she will go to a beautiful cottage in the countryside in the Cotswolds, to this really beautiful place, and she's going to enjoy a calm life. Okay, so that is her plan, and she goes about it. She sells her firm and she moves to the Cotswolds. The only problem is Agatha Raisin gets bored. So Agatha is this, she's not at all like you think a person like that should be. You think, okay, cozy, very, very nice, soft person. Agatha is not. Agatha is abrasive, and she speaks her mind, and she's slightly mean and selfish, and she's fun. So Agatha Raisin finds that she is lonely, And Agatha Raisin really rubs people the wrong way, so she does not have too many friends. So what she decides is she's going to enter the quiche baking competition to make friends and to show them that she is also somebody. Agatha cannot cook to save her life. Okay. So what Agatha Raisin does is she goes to the city and she buys a nice, beautiful quiche and brings it. And she enters into the competition as her own. But the problem is the judge who's eating all the quiches and finding out he takes a bite of her quiche and he falls down dead. So Agatha Raisin is hugely embarrassed because it comes out that she had not cooked the quiche. And she sets about to clear her name, and that's how she starts investigating. It is a fun journey, mainly because, like I said, of Agatha Raisin. She is a fantastic character. And she also builds up these unlikely connections. There's the vicar's wife. The vicar hates Agatha, or rather, he can't stand Agatha, and he calls her that woman. But the vicar's wife forms a strange alliance with Agatha. The vicar's wife sees this lonely person inside this abrasive exterior. And then there's Bill Wong, the policeman. So, Agatha Raisin and the Quiche of Death is a very entertaining, witty, and fun read. So that is the third book on my list. Now we move on to historical fiction. And this is The Frozen River, written by Ariel Lawhorn. The main protagonist is a real life character called Martha Ballard, who was a midwife in the 1700s in New England. And she had delivered almost 1,000 babies, and apparently she has not lost a single mother, which is quite a feat during those days. And another thing which makes her very unique is that she has kept a diary, she has maintained a diary, a record of all the births and deaths and things, interesting things that happened. So that is very unique because in those days, hardly any women knew how to read and write. And Martha was taught to read and write by her husband. So she's a real life character, but the story is fiction. So Ariel Lawhorn takes Martha and plants her in the middle of a mystery. When the story starts, it's the year is 1789, and in the Kennebec River, it's frozen. It's winter, and the river is starting to freeze to get frozen, and a body is found entombed in the ice, and Martha Ballard is called. So during those days, midwives were people who actually did more than just take care of births. They would be called for minor ailments, minor surgeries, to find out the cause of death, autopsies. So things like that, midwives played a huge role. So Martha Ballard is called when the body is found, and she recognizes the person, the dead man. He was one of the two people who were accused of rape by a woman around 4 months earlier, and Martha had examined that woman at that time. So this mystery is so there is a policeman who's trying to find out how this person was killed, and this person has been murdered. So how was he killed, and what is the reason? And Martha's diaries are taken out, and Martha's diaries are taken as evidence, and which she does not want because there is a lot of personal details there. And the date, Martha is a witness, and the date of the hearing is announced. And before that, Martha wants to investigate and find out who actually did it. So that is the story of The Frozen River by Ariel Lawhorn. It sounds extremely informative and interesting because there is an account of the lives of women during those times, the personal lives, the lives which goes on inside the household, which is witnessed by Martha because she's allowed access inside. So I feel it should be a very informative and interesting read. Frozen River by Ariel Lawhorn. And now we come to the fifth book, which is aptly named Five Total Strangers by Natalie D. Richards. This is a crime thriller. And so what happens is there is Mira. Mira is a college student who's going home for Christmas. Mira does not get her connecting flight to her hometown because of a blizzard. The flights have been cancelled. There is a girl who was sitting next to Mira called Harper, and Harper tells Mira that she's organizing a cab with three other people. So Mira assumes those are Harper's friends, and Mira goes along because she's desperate to reach home. Her mother has gone through a huge personal tragedy, and Meera was the person who's been there for her, and so she desperately wants to be there for Christmas. So Meera goes along with Harper and the three other people, and as the journey progresses, it's terrifying for one because of the weather conditions. The weather conditions are abysmal, so it's quite scary to drive in such a situation. And the second thing is, Meera finds out that all of them are strangers. Harper does not know any of them, and slowly, Meera realizes that one of them is stalking her, and also that the personal belongings of the people start going missing. So there is this claustrophobic atmosphere inside the car where five people are there, and there is an atmosphere of doom and darkness outside. This car is going ahead in the stormy, snowy roads, and there is a person with an ulterior agenda in the car. So it should be fun. It should be thrilling. So Five Total Strangers by Natalie Richards is the fifth book, the final book in this list of mine. So those were the five books on my list. Knife by Salman Rushdie, which is complete non-fiction, a memoir of his attack, of the attack on him and how he survived. Kamogawa Food Detectives is a lovely cozy read set in Japan. Then we have Agatha Raisin and the Quiche of Death. Brilliant read, you should read it. Then we have The Frozen River by Ariel Lawhorn, which I feel is will be interesting, riveting. And Five Total Strangers by Natalie D. Richards. So you guys go check it out and start your reading session if you haven't already. I'm sure that many of you would have started reading in this year. For those of you who haven't, slide into your reading season with these books and keep reading. Make people around you also read anything and everything that you can get your hands on. So till we meet again for my next video, you guys take care, stay safe, and read. Bye bye.